Welcome to this overview of the administrator evaluation process for Catholic schools of the Diocese of Davenport. My name is Linda Danny, and I serve as the superintendent of schools. Thank you for supporting your administrator in developing the best skills possible to lead an exemplary Catholic school. What do principals really do? As our little cartoon says here that a student offered us, he says the announcements and then he eats a donut. We most likely bring our own viewpoint on what we believe is the work of a Catholic school principal. After all, we all went to school. Our childhood experiences of interacting or not with the principal, our family beliefs about education, even politics and social media all inform what we believe is the job of the principal. The research team of Jason A. Grissom of Vanderbilt University and his colleagues concluded in their 2021 study entitled How Principals Affect Students in Schools, a synthesis of 2 decades of research. They concluded that the impact of an effective principal has likely been understated, being both greater and broader than what we previously believed. Greater in the impact on student achievement, and broader in affecting other important outcomes, including teacher satisfaction and retention, especially among those high-performing teachers, attendance, and a reduction in discipline. Principals really matter. Indeed, it's difficult to envision an investment on its potential return than a successful effort by your board to improve your principal's leadership. Across 6 studies estimating principals' contribution to student achievement, it was found that a principal's impact is as large as that of a highly qualified single classroom teacher. However, the principal's effects are much larger in scope because they impact every single classroom in the school as opposed to an individual teacher in a single classroom. In the Diocese of Davenport, we believe that the evaluation process includes not only a review of past practice, but also a process that encourages continuous improvement of their strengths and improvement in their growth areas. The evaluation process should culminate in a personal plan that integrates the vision of the diocese, of the school, and the needs of the students. The diocesan evaluation process and philosophy has been approved by the Diocesan Board of Education and promulgated by Bishop Thomas Zinkula. The rules and processes and procedures have been set forth in Policy 326 and 360.4. The evaluation process is individualized to reflect the experience that each educator brings to their position. This process is developed for both new and veteran educators. It may come as a surprise to some, but serving for many years as a teacher does not necessarily produce a principal prepared to lead a school. Both positions are critically important for exemplary schools, but the skill set for each position is significantly different. It takes a bit of time for a new administrator to establish themselves as the leader of a school. New administrators will participate in this evaluation process during the first and second year of their employment and every 3 years after that. Veteran administrators will participate in this evaluation cycle once every 3 years based on a schedule established by the Office of Catholic Schools. However, every administrator will annually complete a professional development plan and report their work to the Board of Education. The diocesan evaluation process is not an event that is one, done, check, and finished. It is designed for the growth over time, starting with the Office of Catholic Schools in August. However, by November, the administrator should have had enough time to review their school data, look at the environment of the school, and analyze some things about instruction, and either create or revise a current plan which they will report to the board. The Office of the Catholic Schools will also complete a survey or a walkthrough to verify what the administrator is telling us they have done. Finally, at the end of the year, the administrator will share with leadership Office of Catholic Schools, primarily the pastor and or members of the board, the impact over their work over the past year. And at this point, the process begins again because none of us are open to not improving our skills. We must continue to grow. So, a few thoughts about the data collection instrument. Every administrator, pastor, if there is a parochial vicar, and a board of education will be asked to supply data to the Office of Catholic Schools. Additionally, administrators are strongly encouraged to have either all or a sampling of their faculty and staff, parents, and if appropriate, students complete the survey. Why so many people? As stated earlier, many of us believe we know what makes the best administrator for a school. But collectively, the data will provide the administrator a picture of the needs and expectations from all of the constituents of the school. The types of data we are collecting reflects the Iowa Standards for School Leaders. And we have integrated the Catholic dimension from NCEA and the United States Catholic Council of Bishops into these 10 standards. 10 standards. That is a lot. In my opinion, 4 or 5 too many. But we do not always get to choose what is mandated to us in the Iowa Code. It's almost impossible to go into a real level of depth on a survey to discover the work the principal is doing in so many areas. But at least it does open up the conversation between the administrator and their local board or the administrator and the Office of Catholic Schools. There are 45 multiple choice questions, and there is an opportunity that is an option for each person filling out the survey to add a comment. At the end of the survey, we offer 2 last narratives for you, the respondent, to talk to the administrator. Please offer words of encouragement and or words of improvement. I urge you to be honest and be generous with your words of encouragement and kind in your words in improvement. Quite frankly, how many of you have been on the receiving end of a 360 data collection instrument? It takes a special person. And yet, we know that we don't see all the sides of our work personalities and it takes a village for people to share with us how we can improve our professional behaviors. The survey is estimated to take about 25 or 30 minutes, depending on how many comments you offer. You might think that this is a lot of time. Yes, it is. However, this survey is focused on the person who spends countless hours in service to your school. Consider the return on investment based on the many other meetings that we have, where we spend minutes talking about items that might not have so much impact on improvement or school improvement. A word about the definitions of effectiveness found at the bottom of this page. The administrators had a lot of input into this survey development, and they did not use words like master, exemplary, I'm excellent, and so forth. They focused on the work. What do you see or not see? What has been produced or not produced? The slide in front of you offers key phrases for each descriptor that you might consider when you are rating your administrator against a specific question. And these descriptors are found underneath every single question in case you forget what they are. On some questions, you may not have any knowledge of what your administrator does. That's okay. If few or none of the Board of Education or faculty staff know what the principal does, let's say with integration of gospel values into the curriculum, well, that tells the administrator a story just as much, right? Stating that you have no knowledge on a topic is informative to the administrator. It tells them where to focus conversations in the future. The administrator does not see any names associated with the data, but they do see the data returned to them by groups of people who responded, such as all the comments from the board or the ratings from the board, all the comments from the faculty and staff, or the ratings from the staff and from the parents, and so forth. Sorry, Pastor, you stand on your own. The Board of Education president and pastor will receive the full report after the Office of Catholic Schools confers with the administrator on the formal evaluation process. Thank you for attending to this important work. I'm honored to work on it with you. As we conclude, let's reflect on the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 11. Finally, brothers and sisters, rejoice. Strive for full restoration. Encourage one another. Be of one mind. Live in peace. And the God of love and peace will be with you. Thank you.